Disclaimer: the content provided in this post is for educational, entertainment, and informational purposes only. Here's the thing nobody admits. Nitpicking isn't random. You don't complain that your partner breathes too loud, has annoying habits, are always on their phone, and that gravity is a scam. You pick. You choose very specific, recurring, deeply petty targets. That's not honesty. That's selective attention, calling itself feedback. And relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman has an actual scientific name for this pattern. He calls it criticism, and it's not just annoying. It's the on-ramp to relationship disaster. Gottman spent decades at his love lab, wiring up thousands of couples with heart rate monitors while they argued. Yes, that's a real job. What he found: 4 communication patterns predict divorce with over 90% accuracy just from watching a 15-minute fight. He called them the 4 horsemen: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Pay attention to these, and they fall like dominoes. Criticism invites defensiveness. Defensiveness invites contempt. Contempt invites stonewalling, where one partner just checks out completely. Here's the key distinction most people blur. A complaint is, "I was upset you didn't call." Criticism is, "You never think about anyone but yourself." One's information. The other's a declaration of war disguised as a comment about your lack of care for others. Here's where it gets almost comically precise. Gottman found the magic ratio, 5-to-1. For every 1 negative interaction during conflict, stable couples had at least 5 positive ones. Outside of conflict, that jumps to 20-to-1. Drop to a 1-to-1 ratio, you're headed for divorce or potential end of your relationship. Drop below that to around 0.8-to-1, where the bad outweighs the good. That's not a rough patch. That's a 5-alarm fire. And here's the part nitpickers need tattooed on their forearm. Bad is stronger than good. You cannot out-earn one nasty comment with 1 bouquet of flowers. The math just doesn't work that way. What do couples or people in relationships actually fight about? Tone of voice, communication style, and money. If nitpicking were really about the towels, surveys would show couples fighting mostly about chores. They don't. A YouGov survey found the #1 thing couples argue about isn't money, isn't chores. It's tone of voice or attitude at 36%. Communication style comes in second at 29%. Money's only third at 26%. Read that again. How something was said beats money as the top source of conflict. Nobody's actually mad about the dishwasher. They're mad about feeling dismissed. And for context, Lifeway research found 90% of couples argue at least occasionally, with 30% arguing weekly. Arguing isn't the villain. What's in the argument is why we actually nitpick. Quick psychology speedrun. Nitpicking usually isn't about the thing. It's about 1. Feeling out of control. Life's chaotic, so controlling the fridge shelf becomes a stand-in for control you don't have anywhere else. 2. Displaced frustration. Work stress doesn't evaporate. It has to land somewhere, and your partner's shoe placement is a much easier target than your actual anxiety. 3. Unspoken unmet expectations. Tiny behaviors become symbolic proof of a bigger grievance nobody ever said out loud. None of this makes it okay, but it does make it fixable because now you're not fighting the towel, you're fighting the real thing. Here's the fix. So how do you actually deal with the small stuff? 5 rules. Fast. 1. Run the complaint versus criticism test. Behavior or character? Say the behavior. 2. Pick your battles like you're on a budget, because you are. Ask, will this matter in 5 years or by Thursday? 3. Chase the 5-to-1 ratio. More good interactions than bad, on purpose. Bank the humor, care, attention, and appreciation before you need it. Understand each other's needs. 4. Say the real thing, not the small thing. Be honest and communicate with care. If it's the 11th time you've mentioned socks, the socks aren't the issue. 5. Watch for contempt specifically. Eye rolls, sarcasm, mockery. That's the single strongest predictor of divorce in Gottman's research. Criticism can be walked back. Contempt corrodes respect itself. The big picture. Nitpicking feels small in the moment. That's exactly what makes it dangerous. Most relationships don't end from one blowout. They end from 1,000 tiny, selectively chosen complaints that quietly drain the account until nobody remembers why they started keeping score. The towels, dishes, laundry, or chores were never the problem. The way you nagged or talked about how each one over time became the problem. Peace.